Have you ever wondered if there are 3 magical words that could completely transform your life? In this video, we'll explore the teachings of Neville Goddard, one of the great spiritual masters of our time, and learn how these words have the power to bring a completely new version of you into this world. If you want to manifest any desire or long for a totally different existence, this technique can work for you. Stay with me until the end of this video, and I'll reveal those 3 words you can use to make any change in your life. Hello and welcome to my new video. If you're new to my channel, a warm greeting to you. As I mentioned earlier, today's topic is a preview of this powerful Neville Goddard technique, extracted from his book The Law and the Promise. This 3-word technique has generated numerous success stories in the lives of those who dared to try it. Many claim to have achieved exactly the result they desired thanks to this manifestation method. It works like magic for most people, and I confidently assure you that it will also work amazingly for you if you follow this approach with all the instructions I'll provide below. This technique is incredibly simple yet extremely effective, so I'm convinced that everyone listening attentively will be delighted to put it into practice. Now, this technique will only take about 30 seconds of your time, but before we dive right into it, let me share with you a story that Neville related in his book The Law and the Promise. It's a striking example of how this technique transformed the life of a woman who longed for financial stability and abundance. This woman confided in Neville Goddard that she was going through a stage in her life where she faced economic difficulties. Despite actively seeking employment, she couldn't find any. She longed to buy a car, but lacking a job made it impossible. She even struggled to pay rent at that time. It was then that this woman discovered Neville's technique, which radically changed her existence. In her own words, she recounted, "I began to apply these 3 words. Instead of thinking and imagining everything I needed, I tried to capture the feeling that something wonderful was happening to me, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. I repeated these 3 magic words over and over as I fell asleep, night after night, for 2 months. And one day, in early October, I happened to run into a friend I hadn't seen in months, who informed me that he was about to travel to New York. I had lived in New York for many years, so we talked about the city for a while and then went our separate ways. A month later, on exactly the same day, this man showed up at my apartment and simply handed me a certified check in my name for $25,000. How did she get that $25,000 check? It was simply amazing, as $25,000 is a huge sum of money. She continued to relate that her friend had been talking to someone she used to know when she lived in New York, who had become incredibly wealthy. When this wealthy individual learned that the friend was in contact with her, he asked him to give her a check for $25,000. From that moment on, she was also included in that wealthy person's will, who expressed his desire to support her in her work as an artist. He even included her for life in his will, and since then she receives monthly checks for $25,000. The most surprising thing is that the person who gave her those checks passed away without seeing her in person again, but this woman's life took an extraordinary turn. She claims that, after applying this 3-word technique from Neville Goddard, her reality was completely transformed. She attributes all the credit to these 3 magic words. Isn't it wonderful? I emphasize these words because they are precisely the ones that Neville Goddard emphasized in his book The Law and the Promise. Isn't it wonderful to think about all the things you want in your life, visualize them, imagine them, and simply pronounce these words out loud? When you're visualizing, immerse yourself completely in that feeling, in that longing, because that's where the true magic lies. Simply think about your desire and let yourself be completely enveloped by that emotion, as that feeling will take you exactly where you want to be. That's the emotional state you should reach when manifesting with this technique, the sensation you'll have when you've achieved the desired result, the emotion you'll experience at the end of this path, which should be your goal when manifesting with these 3 words. So, once again, when you're visualizing, when you're thinking about it, when you're focused on your desire, simply live that moment. Don't worry about how you're going to get there. Don't anguish over the effective steps you need to take to achieve that desired result. Don't get tangled up in all those details, because it's simply wonderful when you allow yourself to feel it, isn't it? Don't immerse yourself in the how, when, or why. Just trust that there's a magical energy around you that will guide you to where your desire is. This is what the woman did every night before going to sleep. She imagined her desire, visualized it, saw herself as a successful artist, perceived herself as a prosperous person, and repeated how wonderful, while surrendering to that longing and pronouncing those words. This is the technique that Neville Goddard highlighted in his book The Law and the Promise. You can practice this technique in the morning if you wish, but it's more effective when you do it before going to sleep. In most of Neville's techniques, he advises his followers to practice them at night, just before falling asleep, due to their effectiveness and the power of our subconscious mind to maintain that feeling, that emotion, and that thought throughout the night. This is what makes it so powerful when done at night. Now, let's quickly review the practice of this technique. First, when you're surrendering to sleep, close your eyes and allow your thoughts to flow like a river, continuously and without obstacles. Don't stop at those stones and dams, which represent your negative thoughts and limiting beliefs that you cling to because you believe things must happen in a certain way. Let those thoughts flow freely, free yourself from all those restrictive beliefs, breathe deeply, and repeat these words: how wonderful! How wonderful! How wonderful! Repeat them as many times as you wish, until you feel that overwhelming and enveloping sensation. Once you feel completely immersed in that feeling, all the images and scenes of your desired result will begin to arise in your mind. You'll see a clear path where you have everything you long for. Then, simply stay in that moment and immerse yourself completely in it. Afterward, fall asleep while repeating how wonderful. Perform this practice for 30 days and observe the results manifest before your very eyes. One of the crucial aspects of achieving successful manifestation is persistence. Many people become discouraged or abandon their manifestation practices when they don't see immediate results. However, it's essential to understand that manifestation is a process and that results may take time to materialize in the physical plane. Neville Goddard's three-word technique is no exception. Although it's a powerful and effective technique, it requires consistency and dedication to obtain the best results. As the woman in the success story mentioned, she practiced this technique every night for 2 months before experiencing her great financial breakthrough. It's essential to maintain faith and trust in the process, even when you don't see immediate changes in your external reality. Remember that you're reprogramming your subconscious mind and aligning your energy with your desires. This internal process can take time, but every time you practice the technique, you're strengthening that connection and attracting your longings towards you. Don't let the lack of instant results discourage you. Instead, maintain your focus on the feeling that your desire is already a reality and continue practicing the technique consistently. Celebrate every small advance and synchronicity that presents itself on your path, as they are signs that you're on the right track. Persistence also implies overcoming obstacles and challenges that may arise. As you align yourself with your desires, you may have to face fears, limiting beliefs, or situations that seem contrary to what you're manifesting. In those moments, it's crucial to maintain your focus on your vision and continue practicing the technique with unwavering faith. There may be ups and downs and unexpected turns in the process. However, if you persist in your practice and maintain a positive attitude, you'll eventually see your desires materialize in your reality. So, if you've been practicing Neville Goddard's three-word technique and haven't yet seen the results you long for, don't give up. Continue visualizing, feeling, and repeating those magic words with conviction. Trust that the universe is working in your favor and that your desires are manifesting at the perfect time and in the most beneficial way for you. Persistence is the key to unlocking the power of manifestation. Maintain your focus, your faith, and your consistency, and observe how your dreams come true in amazing ways. While the success story we shared focused on manifesting financial abundance, it's important to highlight that Neville Goddard's three-word technique can be applied to any area of your life where you want to see a transformation. Whether you long for a loving relationship, an improvement in your health, your dream job, greater creativity, or any other desire, this technique can help you manifest it in your reality. The key lies in adapting the visualization and feeling to your specific desire. For example, if you want to manifest a loving relationship, you can visualize yourself in a scene where you're with your ideal partner, feeling the love, connection, and happiness you share. Immerse yourself in that feeling of fullness and repeat the words "how wonderful" as you surrender to sleep. If your desire is to improve your health, imagine yourself living in a vibrant body, full of energy and vitality. Feel the gratitude and joy of experiencing optimal health. Repeat "how wonderful" as you allow yourself to feel that reality as if it were already yours. If you long for your dream job, visualize yourself in your ideal work environment, performing tasks that you're passionate about and that fill you with purpose. Feel the satisfaction and enthusiasm of doing what you love every day. Repeat "how wonderful" as you immerse yourself in that reality. The beauty of this technique lies in its simplicity and adaptability. No matter what your desire is, you can apply the same principles of visualization, feeling, and repetition of the magic words to align yourself with that reality. Additionally, you can use this technique to manifest multiple desires in different areas of your life. You can dedicate a visualization session to each longing and repeat the process every night before going to sleep. As you focus on each desire and immerse yourself in the feeling of its realization, you're sending a clear signal to the universe of what you want to attract to your experience. For example, when manifesting financial abundance, you may also notice improvements in your relationships, as you feel more secure and generous. When manifesting a loving relationship, you may experience a greater sense of purpose and creativity in your life. So don't limit the power of this technique to just one aspect of your life. Explore all the areas where you want to see a transformation and apply Neville Goddard's 3-word technique with consistency and faith. Allow yourself to dream big and visualize a life that fills you with joy, purpose, and abundance in every sense. Remember that you are the creator of your reality and that you have the power to shape your experience through your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. The 3-word technique is a powerful tool to align yourself with your desires and manifest them in your physical reality. Use it wisely, with persistence and an attitude of wonder, and observe how your life transforms in extraordinary ways. This 3-word technique from Neville Goddard is extremely powerful. As I mentioned earlier, many people have experienced significant changes in their lifestyle after practicing it. Now it's your turn to try it. Put it into practice and share your experience. I'd love to know your results.